you really are taught by world-leading academic staff. As I said, we're ranked in the top 1% of universities in the world. So I'm going to pass to Hannah so she can explain to you how that relates to, say, a Vietnamese university.
Yes, so nếu các bạn chưa từng
And hello, welcome everybody to another episode of Coffee Chat with Adam. I have my coffee right here. Hannah and Sarah, do you have your coffee with you?
We certainly do.
Nice. Okay, so today is another Coffee Chat with Adam episode, and I'm joined today by Sarah Ewing and Hannah Nguyen from the University of Otago. Hannah and Sarah, how are you doing?
Great, thank you. Thank you so much for having us on today.
Very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm actually really honored to have you here today. I'm going to enjoy talking to you. We're going to be learning about the University of Otago. We're going to be talking about the university history. We're going to be talking about the faculties. We're going to be talking about the NCUK requirements as well as scholarships, as well as what can you do after graduation, you know, what kind of job, career support you're offered by the university, as well as some insights about the campus. So stay tuned for a lot of information about the University of Otago today. So I'm going to actually just go directly and ask you the very first question to both of you, Sarah and Hannah. I would like to know more about you. So could you please give us an introduction about yourself, your position, as well as some of the duties that come with that position as well?
Yeah, hi, so I'll start. As Adam kindly introduced me, my name's Sarah. I've been working at the University of Otago now for 3 years, and I'm a regional market manager. So I'm very fortunate. I get to travel many parts of the world talking to students and letting you know how fantastic the University of Otago in New Zealand is.
Hi everyone, xin chào các bạn. My name is Hannah Nguyen. I'm International Marketing Coordinator at the University of Otago. So very nice to see everyone today. And I'm gonna talk in Vietnamese in the section today.
Nice. Thank you very much. Actually, this is very new to me to actually have two people at the same time. Everybody who's watching the show today is going to be like, wow, we have two people today. So this is going to be incredible experience, both for me and for our audience as well, as they're used to having just one person. So I'm so excited, and I think everybody's excited with today's episode. So I'm just going to go directly and ask you the second question, as I would love to learn more about the university. So could you please give me some background or teach me more about the university's history as well? I would love to learn more about that.
Yeah, for sure. So New Zealand will probably be quite new for a lot of the NCUK students. So we are a very, very fortunate country. We've got 8 fantastic universities, all government universities, and the University of Otago is New Zealand's first university. We were established back in 1869, and delighted to say that we celebrated our 150th anniversary last year. So a very long history. We've got over 200 undergrad and postgraduate programs to choose from, so a huge depth of choice there for you, and 4 faculties. So we have business, science, health science, and humanities. But we're also, most importantly, proud that we are ranked in the top 1% of universities in the world, with a plethora of subject rankings in the top 200. So it really shows you the depth of the university. In regards to size, we have approximately 21,000 students in our main campus, which is situated in Dunedin, which is in the lower part of the South Island of New Zealand. So get your maps out, have a look and find out where we are. You might be surprised, think, oh, Dunedin, it's not a city I've heard of. Lots of people have heard of Auckland or Christchurch or Wellington. Why was New Zealand's first university down in Dunedin? And that is because gold was discovered here in the 1800s, and the Scottish migrants decided to invest it all in education. So our campus is beautiful. We have an amazing clock tower building, which you'll see in our background, and that explains the historical aspect of the University of Otago. So very much based on Scottish migrants and investment into education. But it's not just historical with us. You really are taught by world-leading academic staff. As I said, we're ranked in the top 1% of universities in the world. So I'm going to pass to Hannah so she can explain to you how that relates to, say, a Vietnamese university.
Yeah. Nếu các bạn chưa từng nghe đến trường đại học Otago thì mình có thể làm một phép so sánh. Thì bạn có thể hình dung trường Otago giống như trường đại học quốc gia ở Việt Nam trên phương diện chất lượng đào tạo cũng như là quy mô cũng như là số lượng sinh viên. Ngoài ra trường đại học Otago thì là trường đại học có cái campus về y tế đầu tiên trên New Zealand, thì cũng giống như trường đại học y dược của Việt Nam, nên về chất lượng đào tạo cũng như kinh nghiệm của thầy cô giáo cũng như là đầu ra thì các bạn hoàn toàn có thể yên tâm sau khi ra trường. Sarah, you want to continue?
Sure, thank you, Hannah. So, rounding up a little bit of the end of it, the University of Otago, when we look at our business school, we are fortunate enough to be #1 in the country for research. So we really do have global world-class researchers. We're known as a research-intensive university. We also are lucky enough to have Otago as the top-ranked MBA in the country. So if your aspirations are to continue on in business, one of New Zealand's richest businessmen studied his MBA here, and we are lucky enough to be in Australasia's only true student city. So 85% of our students have travelled from all over New Zealand to come and study with us, as well as globally. The great thing for that for you as a student coming here, nobody goes home at weekends, everybody's away from home, so you really do have a fantastic on-campus experience, making friends from all over the world.
Well, that was actually a great description about the university background. I never knew that the university is 150 years old, okay? I thought that the university was just like 100 years old, but 150 years old. Incredible. And the history, one of the points you mentioned is like, the reason why it was started at the south is because of the gold mining, okay? Because they discovered gold there, and I didn't know this. Okay, this is something new to me.
New Zealand is a surprising country.
Yes, indeed. And thank you for that. Actually, that's great for me. I never knew about it. Now I can go tell people about it, okay? Okay, the University of Otago, it was established because of the investment, okay? Because of the gold, okay?
Yeah.
Right. So thank you for telling me as well about the faculties, the location, also the ranking. You did mention that the university is focused on research. So it's a research-based university, but what about other aspect of the teaching methodology? Say, is there any way for the university to integrate or has integrated work-based or practices or some kind of connection with the industry? Yeah,
for sure. So we've got some absolute fantastic. So there's I guess a couple of aspects to it, because the research intensive side comes into all of our learning. So even from year one as a student, you have the same access to academic staff who are conducting their global research as you would if you were a PhD student. So you've got right from when you start at the university. Depending on programs that you do, the majority of our learning is what we would call hands-on learning. So if, say, you're doing business, we have got some fantastic programs that the students can be part of. So you'll have lectures, you'll also have tutorials, you'll have group-based projects, but your group-based project could be with students from all over the world working on a project together that is business related. One of our favourite programs I like to talk about at the business school is Audacious. And that's a program where, in fact, any student from any of our faculties can join. They pitch a startup idea. They have a 10-week program. There's usually a prize. I think it was a $2,000 Red Bull prize to help, see that business plan go into fruition. We also have a global Challenger series that students can get involved in. Our students last year were lucky enough to travel to Canada to pitch their business idea. So there's a lot. Dunedin is really known for its startup community. So there's a lot of help from business as well as academic staff. So you can truly get amongst it from a business perspective. When it comes to, say, sciences or health sciences, you could be out in a laboratory. Marine science, we have 8 research vessels. So it's very much a hands-on learning experience at Otago. When somebody asks me who is the ideal Otago student, I always say it's somebody who's adventurous. Now, that doesn't mean you have to climb a mountain. That's an adventure for learning, because we really, really love and encourage our students to get involved. It is not just sitting in a classroom. We want you to be active, participate, give your feedback, and everybody learns from each other. So it's incredibly inclusive. And if you put the academic side to it, we also have a fantastic program called peer assisted study sessions. So if you're wanting to learn a little more, get some insider's tips, you can go along to all of these classes. They're free of charge, where you will get assistance from a second or third year student who's performed well, and again gives you that extra learning style too. So there's so much you can take advantage of here. It's awesome. And the fact that our campus is small and walkable, it really means that you've got the time to do it. Because we're not in a big city, we're only 130,000 in Dunedin. Most of our students, so think about this, 20,000 students, the majority of them live within a 1 to 1.5 kilometre radius to campus. So all of a sudden, there's no 1 hour, 2 hour commutes on your day. You've got time to get involved in social activities, sports activities, or those extra things that can really add on to your learning experience.
And that's quite useful. I do agree with the fact that they could get easily connected with other students, as well as involve themselves in the extracurricular activities, not just focusing on the academic side or of the university. So that's really good, actually. But one question about the peer-assisted learning, is that what you called it, or classes?
Yep.
So it's available to students from from undergraduate tier 1, or is
Yep.
Right, and they could participate in it throughout the whole three years on the graduate year. Okay.
Yeah, certainly. And if they're great students, they can then help the next student involved. And
okay.
so that's the way that it goes through the university. So if you excel in year 1, then you can apply to be a peer assisted, and help the next year students come up. Again, all adding to your resume and really, giving you that well-rounded student experience.
This is incredible. I never heard of this idea. I'm actually quite really interested in this idea itself, and I think it's really nice to have a system like this to help students help other students as well. So it's a student helping student, and this is quite good. I'm actually quite grateful for you for having this kind of system for the students. But what I would like to know more about is as you know, the students who are watching this episode today are NCUK students, or the majority are NCUK students. So what I would like to know more about is the NCUK International Foundation Year requirements. So we're looking at the subject stream as well as the language. So if you could please provide me with those, that'll be great.
Okay, so requirements for entry is pretty straightforward. All you need are C's, but we really advise that you study as hard as you can at your NCUK, because we do have scholarships. So we are going to be talking about two things at the same time. With your scholarships, they are merit-based. So study as hard as you can in your foundation year, and your chances of getting a $10,000 specific NCUK scholarship will increase, and make your parents proud, which is an important thing. But it's not just NCUK scholarships. We also have international scholarships available for our students, but the majority of those will be merit-based. So work hard when you're doing your foundation, and it will also make your transition life into university a lot easier too. So, the more prepared you are to come, the easier it is to fit in and to be able to do well in your university course.
Yes, I actually agree with you, and thank you for saying that to our students, because I usually also emphasize on the fact that although we have the requirements of a CCC for the subject stream and the language, the EAP also as a C, we still encourage our students to work harder and achieve higher grades, B's or A's or A pluses. That's what we're expecting. And I personally, when I speak with Vietnamese students, I just have no worries, because I talk to students who are quite outstanding with GPAs reaching 8.0. So that's already quite good for me. So so our NCUK students, work hard, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Sarah. So you did mention earlier in the beginning about the different faculties that are the university have. you mentioned there is the Faculty of Business. So I would like to know more about the Faculty of Business itself at the university. So what do you think is the difference between studying business at your university versus studying business at a different university in New Zealand?
Yeah, for sure. So one thing with our business school is we are very lucky. We have been the #1 business school for research in the country. So again, to an earlier point we talked about, is you're really going to be getting taught by global world-class academic staff. That's point one. The other thing I would say for the Otago Business School, we are not a huge business school, and what that gives is that beauty of being able to connect with the local businesses we discussed with the Audacious program, and we have also the connections with internships available. So for example, I've got a finance student at the moment who's going to be working for a local Dunedin business called Education Perfect. So we have these connections. It's small, you know your academic staff, you know your tutorial group, and it's really that opportunity for that fantastic learning. Now, one thing we get asked a lot about is, well, you're in Dunedin, what does that mean for my career future for our business school? Our business school academic staff, as well as our career staff, are incredibly well connected. So we have global companies coming onto campus who will give talks. They will be looking at your future career. You can really meet them in that space and not just be one out of 10,000 students. So it's that opportunity to do really well. Our graduates are also incredibly well regarded. So it's all about the holistic education you get here. So I touched earlier on about the overall learning experience. Our students come out and are independent, they're engaged, they're curious, they're active, and that's what employers love. Everybody's living away from home. It's those soft skills as well as the academic side. So one example is, I think it's PwC, one of the major employers. 85% of graduates are Otago graduates, and our alumni network is also incredibly strong. And that's maybe something Hannah could have a quick word about our Vietnamese alumni.
Yes. Theo như mình được biết thì có một số các anh chị alumni của trường đại học Otago đã quay về Việt Nam và startup rất là thành công ở Việt Nam, ví dụ như là chị Vân Nguyễn hoặc là chị Hoàng Hoàng Minh. Thì các anh chị đều nói rằng là kinh nghiệm thu lại được ở Otago là kinh nghiệm rất là quý giá để cho họ có những network và có những cái cộng đồng startup. Sau đó thì họ quay trở lại về nước và họ đã làm việc rất là thành công dựa trên những cái kinh nghiệm đã thu lượm được từ Otago. Yes.
Cool. One other thing, which I nearly forgot about, but should remember with my sustainable cup, is that our business school, over 50% of its research is in the sustainability space. So we're really big with green finance. The business school's goals are all part of the UN SDGs. I can never say that properly. So it's bringing in that really, pertinent learning and that relevant learning, that sustainability crosses all sectors. So we're big into green finance, and getting students ready in that startup space as well as the sustainable space for businesses moving forward in the future.
Thank you, Hannah, for actually giving us so much details about the business school. And I didn't know about the sustainability aspect of focusing with working with the UN SGDP. So that's the proper name, right? Did I say it right? I got it right?
Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs.
Oh, SDGs. Okay.
Yes, Sustainable Development.
I didn't get it right at all. Okay.
Yeah. Tricky acronym.
Tricky indeed. But the thing is that I wanted to mention here is that New Zealand itself, as a country as a whole, not just for the University of Otago, is well renowned for the focus on the environment as well as focusing on the sustainable development as well in the country. So I'm quite sure that the students who come to the University of Otago will have they're not only going to be able to experience Otago as a university by itself, but also the sustainable aspect of New Zealand's development and focus as well. So that's also an incredible experience for students as well. So what I would like to know more about is something you mentioned earlier. So I think we learned about that the opportunities are available for students who would like to have their own startup company. But what about students who graduate from school, but then they're seeking to apply for jobs in New Zealand? I do know that, and students as well who are watching the episode, they also know that students have now recently changed the policy and are making it so students can stay for 3 years after they graduate to work in New Zealand. So could you tell us more about what kind of support do students get from the university after they graduate, so those who are seeking to work in New Zealand?
Yep, for sure. So the great thing is, and we encourage students to do this long before they graduate, we have a fantastic career development centre with a special focus. We've got dedicated staff for our international students, and they'll help them through a year-long programme of how to write a resume for New Zealand. I mean, the great thing is when you're coming in, you're here for 3 years, you'll really start to know New Zealand by then already. You'll know who the businesses are, its names you may not recognise yet, but you will get to know, and that will be part of your teaching as well as the opportunity to do internships during the summertime. We've got a great Dunedin internship programme here that international students are more than welcome to apply for. And so you'll start those connections early. Then that sort of last year of your bachelor degree, that's where I encourage you to learn how to interview for New Zealand companies. It may be quite different to working for a Vietnamese company. The social side of things here, a little bit different to Vietnam, and work-life balance. Yeah, Hannah can talk to that. So it's about learning how that, so getting work ready post-study. So don't leave it until the end, because that's when the panic sets in. So start it early, start your journey early and get your support. Hannah already touched on the strong alumni that we have. So if you're looking to move in, stay within New Zealand, then we've got those networks available, and we've also already got those Otago graduates and lots of the bigger companies within New Zealand. New Zealand being a population of 5 million, I'm sure you're already aware that we won't have the big companies that a lot of larger countries have. We've got a lot of SMEs, or small to medium enterprises. We also have large government organisations. So dependent on where you want to go and where you see your career, they will help guide you. But our academic staff are also another fantastic resource. They are all very, very well connected with business. So, for example, we don't have a major in logistics, but we've got an academic staff member who is big into logistics, and we've got students up there doing projects. So it's really about getting engaged with the career staff, getting engaged with your academic staff, and looking where you'd like to take your career to get that first step on the ladder when you're here. That's the best advice I can give. Start early, learn about it, see where it goes and the opportunities there, and speak to your fellow students and just learn. Connect with students who've gone on, so you'll get to know, especially see through like the peer assisted learning, students who are the year above you, see where their journey takes them. And yeah, that's a big part of the learning experience. Did you want to say a little bit about the difference between work-life balance in New Zealand?
Yes, I should say in Vietnamese, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Về cơ bản thì cái môi trường làm việc ở New Zealand là một môi trường khá là lý tưởng, đấy là theo kinh nghiệm của bản thân mình. Tức là mọi người được làm việc thỏa sức sáng tạo trong cái phạm vi khuôn khổ công việc của mình. Nhưng bù lại thì họ cũng được nghỉ ngơi sau một tuần làm việc, tức là mình chỉ làm việc 5 ngày thôi và mỗi ngày làm việc 8 tiếng, sau đấy thì 2 ngày cuối tuần mọi người có thể thả sức để đi chơi những cái hoạt động ngoài trời cùng với gia đình. Thì đại loại là nó sẽ tạo cho mình cái cảm giác là làm việc hết sức và cũng được chơi hết mình, nên là mình rất là thích cái điểm này khi mà làm việc tại New Zealand. Yes.
Go.
Oh, well, actually, wow, that was a lot of information for me, but I do agree with everything you said there, especially the connection. Build up your connection, okay? Get connected with the professors, connected with the other students, and with the alumni. What I wanted to know more about is how do you usually recommend for the students to connect with the alumni? Do they do them via Facebook pages or through LinkedIn, or does the university have a tool that you could use to connect with the alumni?
Yeah, the business school's got a great alumni page, but also the Careers Guidance Centre will be able to help with that format as well. So that's part of what they do. They're that gap between the student and future career, so they can give you all the guidance there. They also have a fantastic tool called Student Job Search for jobs within New Zealand. But they also have assistance if you want to go back to Vietnam and how to engage with getting employment in your home country as well. Not everybody wants to say, you might decide you want to go back to Vietnam and build your career there. So our career team can help you in both directions, whether you want to stay in NZ or you want to go on to back home to Vietnam. It may well be that your career might take you somewhere else. You just don't know. That's the beauty of an Otago degree. It could take you wherever the world goes. So we have a lot of alum working in a lot of different countries around the world, and it is truly a global alumni network. So you're young, the world is your oyster, and you don't know where that's going to take you. So that's the exciting part of it. It's just being open to ideas. The one thing that isn't necessarily just straight career, but we also have an amazing volunteer centre here. We call it the Studio Impact Centre. And this is where we really encourage our international students to get involved in it as well. Gain some life skills, learn something different that might be a little bit outside your comfort zone. And that really is what New Zealand employers love to see. You've got engaged in New Zealand life, you've maybe learnt something different, and it really makes you look strong on a resume. It's not just about academic performance in New Zealand. They want to see you as a person. So that's a big part of it as well. Or if you love sport, get involved in sport. New Zealanders are very passionate sports people, but we also have a huge range of clubs and societies. So whatever your passion is, get involved in it at a university as well, and employers will really be respectful of that too.
Nice. Thank you, Sarah. Actually, that's something I wanted to touch on in just a little bit, the clubs and societies. But I actually really happy to hear about the different kind of support the university offers for students who are looking to work in New Zealand. And I was surprised to hear that they also help you if you want to go and find a job in your home country, and that's incredible.
For sure.
I mean, look, I've talked to many people, to many universities, and I never actually encountered this. This is really good, and I'm really happy to hear about the support that the university provides the student with. So I'm sure the students are also grateful to hear about this opportunity. What I would like to know more about for the next two topics, the first one is life on campus. Okay, so students who come to the university are definitely going to be wanting to live on campus. So how does the life on campus look like? What's the international community? What does the international community look like? As well as how easy is it to integrate yourself with the local people, as well as what are some of the clubs and societies that are available for students?
Cool. Okay, well, I'm going to start off with this, and then I'm going to pass over to Hannah, because she will be able to give you exactly how it is as a Vietnamese student. But the one thing with our campus is our pre-COVID, our international student mix was very different to most other Australasian universities. So we have approximately 2,900 international students. Our largest student cohort was from the USA. And then it would be China, Malaysia, India, and then a very long tail of different nationalities, normally about 100. Mainly being is that we have a large postgraduate international student base with PhD. So we have about 4,500 postgrads on campus, about 1,380 PhD students. So every nationality in the world, it's like the United Nations, it's fabulous. And because, as I mentioned earlier, we are very much what we would say a residential university and a student city, you will be among students of all nationalities and all over New Zealand. So if you say in your first year come into a residential college, when you sit down at, so it's 3 meals a day, you have to sit down beside the student next to you. You can't go off and you sit down and that's how you make your friends. So you could be sitting from somebody from Auckland, the next day somebody from Christchurch, the next day somebody from Wellington, maybe somebody from Beijing, somebody from Hanoi, could be wherever you're from. And that's that first year in residential colleges. Everybody's away from home. It's very easy to meet your friends. That's just in the residential college in Uniflats, which is another living option we have for students, which Hannah is going to talk about. And then she'll also talk about the clubs and society.
Yes. Như chị Sarah đã đề cập thì mình thấy là một cái điểm mà quan trọng nhất khi mà đến du học tại một đất nước khác đấy là cái mức độ thân thiện của con người ở đây, cũng như là mức độ được hòa mình vào cuộc sống của cái môi trường mới. Thì ở Otago các bạn có thể tự tin và dễ dàng đi tìm một người bạn quốc tế, không chỉ là các bạn sinh viên Việt Nam với nhau, nhưng mà các bạn có thể tìm được các bạn từ những quốc gia khác nữa, và mọi người rất là thân thiện để giúp đỡ các bạn khi mà mới settle down cái cuộc sống ở Otago. Thì mình thấy đấy là một cái điểm quan trọng nhất khi mà các bạn đến học tại một môi trường mới. Ngoài ra thì về các câu lạc bộ, đối với của riêng người Việt Nam thì hiện nay trường có một câu lạc bộ do các bạn sinh viên tổ chức cho các bạn sinh viên đến từ Việt Nam, từ hệ undergraduate đến postgraduate, thì có khoảng 40 thành viên và mọi người sống như là một gia đình với nhau. Các bạn có thể hỏi bất kỳ câu hỏi nào và các anh chị senior hơn thì sẽ giúp đỡ để hòa nhập được với cuộc sống nhanh nhất tại đây. Về thức ăn thì có 3 đến 4 những cái siêu thị châu Á, thì mình hoàn toàn tin là các bạn có thể nấu được tất cả các món ăn Việt Nam với những cái nguyên liệu có được cung cấp từ những cái siêu thị này, nên là không gặp trở ngại gì về mặt đồ ăn cũng như là thích nghi về môi trường mới. Chỉ có một điểm là về khí hậu, thì nếu các bạn đến Dunedin cũng như là đến New Zealand thì nên chuẩn bị một số những quần áo ấm để thích nghi dễ dàng hơn với cái khí hậu nhiều gió cũng như là hơi lạnh một chút ở New Zealand. Nhưng mà sau một kỳ học thì các bạn sẽ cập nhật cũng như là hòa mình được cái cuộc sống nhanh tại đây thôi, không có gì khó khăn cả. Thì đấy là những cái lời khuyên cơ bản của mình khi mà các bạn muốn sống và làm việc cũng như là học tập ở Otago. Yes, so I've just covered about house life on the campus and weather, food, and like how to connect with people in here as well.
Fantastic. So hopefully some good tips there from Hannah. The one thing we haven't talked about yet that we are incredibly proud of and our students love is what we call Unipol. So this is a 3-story gym facility, walking distance of campus, that is free of charge to students once you've paid your fees. There's no additional charges involved. There is everything from basketball to table tennis to all different kinds of sports activities. All of our students love it. Healthy mind, healthy balance, and you don't have to be super sporty to be involved in it, but another great way to connect with students, both New Zealanders and international as well. Adam, you're on mute.
I had myself muted. Yeah, I clicked mute by accident. But what I wanted to ask is, what was the name of the facility called? Unipol? Is that
Unipol? UNIPOL.
Ooh, Unipol. Okay, that sounds great. There's so much support. Like, there's so many things for the students to do on campus. And this is actually...
You don't get bored here. And our campus is part of the city as well. So everything's walkable.
So it's actually connected. It's open campus. It's not closed campus.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So students can literally, like you said, walk from the campus to go to the city, do some shopping, and then come back to the campus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, this is nice. This is very nice. I like campuses like that. I don't like campuses that are quite far away from the city.
Yeah, we're literally, the city has been built around the university, given the history of the university. So we've got what we call our CBD. It's a 10-minute walk from campus. So as soon as you walk across the road, we've got Otago Museum there. Then there's a whole range of restaurants and eateries, and it's a student city, so lots of cheap eats for students as well, which is great. So lots of different loads of choice. Yeah. So for a small city, we support the students well. Love it. When the students are on campus, it's incredibly vibrant. It really is.
That's very nice. I don't know if Hannah actually mentioned this in Vietnamese, because I can't understand Vietnamese, so I'm just going to ask this now. As you know, Hannah, a lot of students would love to know if there's an opportunity for them to go shopping for Vietnamese food or buying some groceries from a Vietnamese supermarket or store, is there any Asian supermarket or let's say Vietnamese restaurants maybe in the city?
Yeah, actually, I already mentioned that point.
You already mentioned it? Okay.
Important point for Vietnamese students. But yeah, so basically we have enough, just one sentence I want to highlight. We have enough every ingredients for Vietnamese students to cook almost all of the foods if they feel missing home. Yeah.
Nice. That's what I love to hear. So they can make pho very easily, right?
Yes.
And spring rolls. Hannah makes excellent spring rolls.
Really?
We're very lucky to have her in the office.
I'm feeling jealous now, Sarah. You can taste that, but I could never taste that. I'm upset. So I'm just going to move to the next question then in that case. Okay, what I would like to know more about is actually something that... Sarah and Hannah, what I would like to know more about is the financial planning. So the students who are watching the episode today would also start to consider about, what kind of budget should I have? How is the expenses in the city going to look like? And especially for students who are considering to live on campus. So if we would look at kind of the average annual expenses that the student will have to consider, that will be great if you could give us some more details about that.
Yeah, certainly. Okay, so we've already talked a little bit about the residential calls and the uniflat. So it's the two options of university accommodation. So ballpark figures, we'd say between 18 to 20,000, which will cover your accommodation as well as any extracurricular activities you would like to do. Maybe apart from driving a Lamborghini, you will need a considerable more sum than that. But that gives you an indication. Now, the differences with residential colleges, that is everything is provided for you, 3 meals a day, you have your own bedroom, you've got tutorials in the evening, and it's all heated, shared bathrooms, shared lounge facilities, lots of community support as well, and interaction. University flats, that's where you have your own bedroom, but you would do your own cooking, and you would be amongst 4 to 5 other students normally, and you tend to share your kitchen, your lounge, and also they normally tend to have a bit of a garden as well. So even though we call them flats, they're more like sort of houses or townhouses. So that's the two options. Again, there's a lot of support around you, so there's community around you as well. So you'll obviously, but the uniflats include your internet and your electricity. So you don't have to worry about everything. Everything's taken care of for you, and there's a support network around you there as well. So the other incidentals would be more if you want to go out for a meal or you want to get involved in an activity on campus, that you've got some extra money for you as well. Now, one other thing I would say is please don't forget about our beautiful, beautiful countryside that we have around us. A lot of our students like to go away for the weekends or during holiday time. We have the most amazing landscapes within a 3 to 4 hour drive from Dunedin. And so look up South Island, New Zealand, and see some of the beautiful landscapes that we've got that you can access. So that part of the budget that we put in there is for some of those extracurricular as well. I'm going to pass you over to Hannah, who can give you a little bit more insight.
Yeah, so như chị Sarah có đề cập về sống ở accommodation trong trường đại học, thì có thể các bạn sinh viên Việt Nam khi mà nghĩ đến việc sống trong campus của trường thì các bạn có vẻ không thích cái idea này lắm. Nhưng mà thực ra khi so sánh với cuộc sống ở New Zealand nói chung và sống ở Otago nói riêng, thì mình khuyên là ít nhất 1 năm đầu các bạn nên trải nghiệm sống trong accommodation của trường. Thì với kinh nghiệm cá nhân của mình như một người đã sống ở Uniflat thì mình thấy rằng là mình đã có một cái cộng đồng rất là tốt với các bạn sinh viên quốc tế khác. Mình có thể chia sẻ văn hóa cũng như là kinh nghiệm rồi học tập với các bạn ở trong trường, và nó rất là tiện lợi khi mà các bạn có thể đi bộ khoảng 2-3 phút là đi đến trường rồi, thì sẽ tiết kiệm cái thời gian đi lại cho các bạn rất là nhiều, và các bạn chỉ tập trung vào việc học tập thôi. Cũng như là có cái pastoral care thì các bạn sẽ được mọi người, nhân viên trong trường giúp đỡ khi mà mới đến gia nhập cuộc sống ở Otago cũng như ở New Zealand. Thì mình khuyên một lần nữa là các bạn nên đăng ký để học ở ít nhất là 1 năm đầu tiên trong trường đại học. Sau đấy các bạn có trải nghiệm nhiều hơn thì các bạn có thể đăng ký ở ngoài Nhưng mà đấy sẽ là một cái kinh nghiệm rất là đáng giá các bạn nên thử khi mà được sống ở trong accommodation ở trường. Yeah, so I would just recommend students, at least for the first year, they should study and live in accommodation on campus to experience the student life in Otago. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you very much. Actually, what I really liked what you mentioned there is in this entire budget, it's including the extracurricular activities, and you're encouraging the student to actually do those activities, go on camping, probably go visit the countryside, don't just stay on campus. You don't hear this very often. Usually you just hear the idea of that you stay on campus, the campus is nice, but you're encouraging the opposite as well, as encouraging students to do activities on campus. And this is incredible because you want the students to see the beauty of the countryside as well as New Zealand, because New Zealand is a very beautiful country and there's a lot of things to see. So yeah, thank you actually for mentioning that. And you said about 18,000 to 20,000, that's usually the average the students have to consider in their mind. So actually, I'm looking at my page here, and I don't think I have any more questions. So
hey, look at us. We've answered them all.
Yes.
well done. Awesome. So we actually went through all the questions. I only have one final thing that I would like to ask from you.
Yeah.
I would like to hear both something from you, Sarah, and from Hannah as well. And it's more of a personal advice to our students who are watching the episode today. So what would you like to tell them before they consider applying to the university or to study overseas, and after they come to the university? So what's your advice for the students?
Okay, well, I'll start first if that's okay, Hannah.
Yes.
Yep. I would just say be really open, learn about which university fits you the best and where you see yourself. Look onto the website. If you need any more, you've got more questions, there's always staff here to help guide you. We will be having a Uni Buddy program starting next year, so you can speak to one of our current students to get a real feel for what life is like here. And when you arrive on campus, take advantage of as many opportunities as you can, academic and social. Get involved, become engaged, and you will not regret it. It is a fantastic country to study in, and Otago's a pretty special place. So hopefully we'll be welcoming you here soon.
Yeah, and for me, mình chỉ có một lời khuyên duy nhất đối với các bạn, đó là chuẩn bị thật tốt cái foundation của mình. Nếu mà bạn có một foundation vững chắc thì các bạn sẽ rất là tự tin khi mà học tại New Zealand nói riêng, cũng như tất cả các nước khác trên giới, cũng như là ở Otago. Thì mình hy vọng là được hẹn gặp lại tất cả các bạn tại Otago trong thời gian sớm nhất. Yes.
All right. So I'm just going to repeat what Sarah said. I'm sorry, Hannah, I didn't really understand. But I did hear something about foundation. So probably you're mentioning how important the foundation program is. I think.
So my sentence is good preparation will take you a better future.
Thank you. That's actually a good point.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, I do agree with you both. And Sarah, you mentioned do the research. You have to do the research yourself as a student, and contact other students who've gone to the university as well. Just ask them about, is this really the university you want to go to? You kind of collect this research and then build up your understanding of the university or what your destination at the end. And also you mentioned something else, and you said take advantages. Okay, if opportunities open for you, grab them. Say yes to opportunities, because you will experience much more things if you're open to opportunities. So thank you both for giving wonderful advice to our student. And I'm actually running out of time, and I think I've took a lot of your time, so I don't want to take
No
more of your
worries,
time.
it's our pleasure. Good luck with the editing.
Oh, thank you.
That's the hard part.
Thank you very much.
Doing the talking's the easy part. Sorry, you got a lot to zip them down.
Thank you.
And I'm so sorry for the
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But
Yeah,
could I just also record an ending, because we have to do a quick kind of like an ending as well. So I need you both to also say whatever you want to say at the end.
Okay.
Because I would like to thank you.
Study hard at NCUK, and we hope you can join us at Otago.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll say that in English, and then do you want to say it in Vietnamese? Okay,
Sounds great.
cool.
Sounds great. Okay, so thank you everybody for watching today's episode. I had an incredible time talking to Sarah and Hannah from the University of Otago. I ran out of questions, I don't have any questions, and I think I'm really grateful for your time watching the episode today. So Sarah and Hannah, thank you very much again for joining me on the show today, and I hope we could have another talk in the future.
Okay, Adam, thank you so much. And thank you to all the students out there listening who are learning more about New Zealand and study well at NCUK Foundation, and really hope you'll be welcoming you to Otago in the future.
Chúc các bạn có một quá trình học tập thật tốt tại NCUK và hẹn gặp lại các bạn sớm tại Otago.
Thank you very much. And
Okay.
we can end the episode here today. So thank you everybody. Have a good night, have a good evening, have a good morning, whenever you're watching this.
Okay, thanks everyone. Bye-bye.
All right, let me